This is Randi and Venkat's first YouTube episode. And we're going to run a whole lot of videos throughout the year, throughout next year, year after next. But this is going to be our first thing. So we're going to talk about martial arts and how it shaped up my life and how it's, and I'm going to give you some great helpful tips. So it's all about being happy, right? Whatever we do every day, it's to make sure that we are happy, our families are happy. So Venkat has got some questions for me. All right, so he's got like ton of questions, but because of the time constraints, we're gonna limit them down to 10.
Let's start with what is martial arts,
Okay,
and
I'll
the
ask
benefits of
questions.
martial art. Yeah.
Okay. Martial arts is just self-defense, right? So yeah, I mean it is martial arts. You use it as a self-defense thing, but yeah, it's a kind of combat practice for a number of reasons, and one is self-defense. And sometimes people use it for competition. Sometimes people use it for just to stay fit, as a health benefit, and mentally also. Anything can be anything that is going to be the martial arts can be useful to to have all those benefits, self-defense, combative experience, as a health benefit, as stay fit. So all sorts of things. Martial arts is all that. All of that is martial arts. But yeah, again, you talk about martial arts, you think it's kicking and punching, but it's a lot more than that. But like I said, it's basically people at different ages use it for different reasons. And so your second question is, the benefits of martial arts, right?
Right.
So
That's right.
I started martial arts only when I was 30. So I did that for a different reason, but it's going to be different to someone else. So for a 3-year-old, their benefits are going to be different because their goals are going to be different. And a 10-year-old, their benefits are different because their goals are different. But we're going to talk about how it affected me and and the benefits that I got out of it.
To the second question, right?
Okay.
So, like, like I want to learn martial arts, right? I don't like everything looks good, and I know there's a lot of benefits to it, and you can lose weight, like you said. You can be healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually. You can be healthy, and there are multiple other benefits that's going to shape up your life. So that all makes sense. And but how do I learn the martial arts? Like, do I have to go to somewhere to learn, or just can I learn myself?
Great question, Venkat. I mean, I'll just give you a real quick one. What my advice is just go there. Nothing like being in the studio and doing it yourself. So that's how I learned it, and that's when you actually feel it. You can learn from books, you can learn from YouTube videos even. I mean, not just martial
Right.
arts, anything. You want to play the guitar, you can learn it through books. Looking at the books and doing viewing the YouTube videos. But personally, this is all my personal way, right? So personally, I want you to go to the studio and see what they do and do it yourself. Just get their trial. So usually when you go there, you get 3 lessons for $39 or for $59 or whatever. If you can afford it, just go there, watch how they do it and feel it. Nothing like feeling it physically. And the most important thing is, most of the benefits are going to depend on the personality of your instructor. And I personally felt it. My master was Master Harris. Great guy, great personality. And a lot depends on the personality of the master. So you don't feel that personality unless you go and learn. So your question was how you want to, how I would recommend, if you want to learn martial arts, my recommendation is not books, not YouTube videos.
Right.
Just go to the studio and do it yourself.
Yeah, definitely makes sense, because I think sometimes I try to do some of the exercises or some of the YouTube videos. They talk about lose weight in 10 days. I try to do it, but I cannot keep up with it, right? It just like you can do it by yourself, but like if you go to a studio and you register for a class, and then you are kind of bound to, because everybody else in there, and you
Right.
you get that discipline. That definitely a great
Yeah.
point. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next one, right? So like there are multiple martial arts. I heard that it's from different countries. They have different forms of martial arts, right?
Right.
I heard that mostly in Asian countries like Japan, Korea, and
Right.
China, and all those countries, right?
Right.
But like I want to choose the martial art that's going to help me. Like,
Right.
how do I choose? Like, which one I should go for? Is it Taekwondo
Right.
or like anything else that you would recommend?
Venkat, it's a great question, but really, again, the answer is it depends because I would say like any martial arts, whatever the martial arts style that you choose, it depends on your goals. Like if you want to be like physically fit, right? Because of martial, when you go to studio, when you take lessons, the first thing that they do is physical fitness. So any martial arts studio, any martial arts type that you use, whether it's karate, jiu-jitsu, or taekwondo, or whatever, I'm pretty sure they're going to do that physical part. So if your goal is that, at our age, right, we are not too much worried about sometimes the belt that you're going to get. More than that, what we're going to be worrying about is our physical health. So that's why I said it depends on your goals. So if you're really looking to be fit and physically active for 3 days a week at least, I think it really doesn't matter which one you choose. Any martial art style that you choose is going to get you that benefit. But again, that we're talking about us, like closer two guys who are reaching their middle age. So that's going to be totally different to a 3-year-old, and it's going to be totally different to a 10-year-old or teenage or 20-year-old. So I'm talking just about people like us. But if you're a 3-year-old and probably your mind is not yet ready to figure out what your goals are, right?
Right.
And so that really, because of for a 3-year-old, I guess again it doesn't really matter because they're gonna be there just to have fun,
Right.
right? And
That's
every martial arts school have designed certain programs to give that to a 3-year-old. So because of that, again, whatever the martial arts style that the 3-year-old chooses or their parents choose for them, gonna give them that because fun. But again, now we're talking about the teenage, like 10-year-old, 12-year-old. They're complicated, right? I mean, we've been there. Their goals are complicated. They want to learn self defense. They like kicking. They like punching. So I would say, thinking that just if you put the teenage hat, they're more like into fancy kicking, right?
right.
Fancy
Right.
kicking. Personally, this is only my personal way. Usually, taekwondo is best suited for people who are looking for kicking.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Okay.
through my personal experience. But if you're looking for more like boxing type or like mixed martial, like you use legs in a different style, different movements of legs, different hand coordination. I think it's Thailand-based Muay Thai,
Muay Thai.
and
Okay.
and also karate is pretty much combative. And if you're looking for something like both hands and punching and kicking and combative kind of experience, I personally think that karate would be good. But real physical contact would be jiu-jitsu is a real wrestling type thing too. So I mean, there are so many things. Like I said, it really depends on what your goals are, what you're looking for.
Right.
And personally, for people like us at our age, our goals are different. And if I want to go to a martial arts studio now at this point, I would choose Taekwondo because I've done it before. And more than one of the reasons is because I know for a fact that it gives me the satisfaction that I'm looking for, which is physical fitness.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely makes sense. So it's basically just choose what they like to do. Just go there and just experience few days and see if it
Yeah.
works out. Right.
Yeah, so you raised a good point. So just go there and just see if they're gonna like it.
Right.
And like I said, most of the studios they have trial runs. Just take it. I'm pretty sure you can afford $39.
Right.
Just 3 lessons and you get the gear, the basic gear for that, and just go and experience it. But like I said, don't. I couldn't raise this thing before. Make sure you do not make your decision based on YouTube. Google reviews, just on Google reviews, because they can be a little misleading. That's why I cannot emphasize this enough. Just go to the studio, feel it yourself.
Right. You don't lose anything. So you just
Yeah,
like you just try to see the people what they're doing, and then you're going to
exactly.
experience 1 or 2 days what's going to
Yeah,
happen,
and
right?
and actually, even before you go for the trial lesson, you can just sit there and watch.
Right, right,
Nobody's gonna kick you out of the studio.
right,
They love people to come and watch.
right,
So because that it doesn't hurt. That's the word that you use. I love it.
right,
Doesn't hurt.
right,
You're not gonna lose anything. You lose nothing by just going there and watch them do it. So why not you go ahead and do that? If you like it, you want to give it a shot, just buy the trial lesson and try it for 3 days. If you really like it, let's go ahead. Right?
right. Exactly. There are Groupons too. Just check them out. Groupons. Sometimes
Good
those
point.
are being advertised. So, yeah. Let's move on to the next one. So, let's say one family that parents have like 3 4 kids, right?
Right.
And then how like some of them are like 2 3 year old, and some of them are 5 6, and they want to they realize that they want to take their kids to some martial arts, and they chose taekwondo, right? Let's say they chose taekwondo, and then like, is there any age limit for those parents to take those kids to those taekwondo, or any kids is fine? Like do you have any recommendation for those?
Yeah, through my experience, when good, I know for a fact that usually the schools will take any children above 3. So that's
Okay.
through my experience. So, like I said, I've done Taekwondo for 3 to 4 years, and I was heavily involved guiding the young kids, young children, and we started taking children 3 and above. But again, it depends. It can depend on the school. It can depend on the style. So I know that some one of the martial arts styles, I think it's Krav Maga. They actually do not take any children. I think they only take 10 and above. So it really depends. But usually karate, as far as I know, taekwondo, karate, similar martial arts styles, they usually take children 3 and above. Maybe the reason is children who are younger than 3 years, they're physically. I don't think they're mentally and physically more than that. Physically, they're not ready enough
Right.
for some of the movements, some of the moves that they're gonna learn and kind of practice it. And also, children age 1, children age 2, 2.5, maybe just around 2, they're beginning to learn, right? They're beginning to hear new words. So some of the instructions, they might not be able to follow those instructions. They're kids, they're just kids. But maybe 2.5, 3, they're I think they're good enough, or they're grown enough to understand some of the basic instructions. So one of the first things that we try at the trial run, the first lesson for a child is we're trying to figure out whether they can follow instructions. So I personally don't think any children before 3 years old are kind of capable of following those instructions. So I think 3 is a very good age, for my experience, for Taekwondo. But again, like I said, some of the other martial arts may be different. Like I said, there's a martial arts style called Krav Maga. I think this is only my personal viewpoint. I
Right.
think they don't do kids as young as 3. I think you have to be older than that. But usually, 3
3
years
year.
is the cutoff.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah, that definitely. I think 3 year, like kids being kids, right? So
Yeah.
they're not going to listen to you unless
Oh,
they are more, become older, right? So at least I think below 3 years, it's not really going to be advisable, like you said. So
yeah.
three plus
That's
would be good.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's totally my personal viewpoint based on my own experience.
Right, right. Yeah. Let's switch gear a little bit, and so talk about like what made you, like, I know you told before that you started around in your 30s,
Hmm.
right? So what made you start doing martial arts? Like why
Right.
did you
I
start
mean,
doing martial arts?
yeah, great question, Venkat. So like you mentioned, like I said before, I started doing it. I started when I was, I think, 2 months before I hit 30. So, around like 29. So that was 2014, 5 years ago. You can guess my age now. And I was going through the toughest time in my life, right? So like I said before, my goals, 30-year-old's goals were different. So my goal at that time was not learn self-defense. Someone was not trying to mug me or anything. All I want to do was get the hell out of my house and be somewhere that I don't have to be in house and have to deal with all the things happening in my life, like personal and work life. So and I'm so glad that I made the decision. So at that time, personal life, work life were terrible. Both of them were terrible. So I just wanted to get some mental help. So I just wanted to clear my mind. I was not looking for physical fitness. I was not looking for self-defense, nothing. All I wanted was some mental or peace of mind. I think that's the correct way to put it. I was looking for peace of mind, and I just Googled something. I don't exactly remember what I tried, but I ended up being in Master Harris's Taekwondo studio, and the rest is history. Right. So again, I would like to shoot back a few minutes. I said that it really depends on what you want to do, what your goals are. So at that time, my goal was to get some peace of mind, a lot of peace of mind. And I was trying out a lot of different things, and finally I ended up in the studio, martial arts studio, and like I said, rest was history. It changed my life for good. It shaped up my life in a better way, of course. It used to be really tough, but I learned a lot of things. So we can discuss those things later, like how it affected me personally and all that. But really helped me to appreciate little things. Like that's one of the best things I've learned from my Master Harris. Appreciate little things. We always forget to appreciate little things in life. Even waking up. We are so blessed that if we wake up tomorrow morning, we're so blessed, right? Yeah. We are still alive, and there are people who are terminally ill who don't even know whether they're gonna see the sunlight tomorrow.
Right.
So in that, little things like that. If your wife was sick, if you're sick and if your wife made you breakfast, that's a huge thing. But do we take time to appreciate that? I don't think so. But it's a huge thing that she does, or even the other way around. If your wife is sick and if you're doing something for her that you've never done before, that's a huge thing. So little things like that I learned from doing martial arts. And plus, of course, self-defense. I was very confident. One benefit out of martial arts is like gives you a whole lot of confidence that you can take on anyone. And I can defend myself and I can defend my family confidence. That's one of the biggest things. So at that time, I was not looking for any of that. At that time, all I wanted was peace of mind, and I got into martial arts, and the rest is history.
Nice, yeah, that's a great story about your background, and it's just, I think like if you don't try it, right, like your life is going down the drain. Like if somebody is facing that in their life and they need some kind of hope, right? I think, like you said, probably gave you hope. That Taekwondo gave you hope and keep moving further and just shaping your life.
Gave me hope.
Right.
So you're spot on.
Yeah, that's definitely a helper there. So that, like anybody watching this, who are watching this, that they should definitely check it out. And if they are in the same situation, right? So it's better to check it out.
And I want to add to it, Venkat. So there's so whatever works for me may not work for you. So some people, it might work, it might not. Just give it a shot and see what works for you. So unless you try it, like that's what you said, unless you give it a shot, you don't know whether it's going to work for you or not. Some people, it might, just watching a movie might work. A series or like a movie night, like 10 hours, 12 hours, if you watch something, a movie marathon, that might help you.
Right.
So that might not help someone else. So you grab a guitar and you try to learn the guitar. That might work for you, but that might not work for someone else. But you never know what's gonna work for you unless you give it a shot. So our advice, like I'm pretty sure you and I are both both have tried a lot of things for various different things, and so the thing is, you have to try out things until you find your thing.
Right, niche. Yeah, you find a niche.
Exactly.
Right. So yeah, in that same note, like, so let's say my life was going down the drain, and then I found Taekwondo from this video, right? I was watching this video in the future, like let's say in the future I'm watching this video, and I found it, and I want to try it out, and I found this place, I went there and I started trying, but I feel like I'm not doing good. How do I make myself good? Like, I feel like my body is not cooperating. How to make the time worth it within the, like, when you try it? How do you become good at it?
So sometimes what this is something my father told me. So sometimes setting goals is good. Sometimes it's not. So say, going back to your question, if you're so you set up a goal, you wanted this, and something is not working right, you feel like you keep hitting on a brick wall, it's not getting you there. Take some time off. That's what I do sometimes. Right. That's what my father told me. You set up goals, financial goals, educational goals, physical fitness goals, and you feel like, but again, before you take a break, you have to give it a decent amount of time. And you give it some time, and you still feel like you're not getting there, take some time off. That's what I did, and it worked for me. Okay, but is it gonna work at every time? Maybe not, right? That's the thing. So it might work at some point, it might not, but it really depends on your own situation. Sometimes I set up goals for myself. One thing I wanted after I started Taekwondo, and I set up a goal. I want to get black belt this year. I think I set up a goal like 2017 at that time. And I worked towards it. And I liked it because in order to achieve that goal, I figured out that I had to lose weight. I was overweight at that time. And I worked towards the getting the black belt. And in the end, I lost 25 to 30 pounds. Can you believe that?
Wow.
But here's the thing. I gave it a fair amount of time. Losing weight, it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not just physical. It's dieting as well. So it's a combination of dieting and physical exercises. So the first thing I said to your question was just take some rest. Like if you feel like you're not getting where you want to be, you take some time off and you rethink. What are the things that I have done wrong? What are the things that I have done right? Think of the positives, talk to your person, talk to your master, talk to your instructor, and discuss with him what went wrong or what the things that you can do better. So you have to have a peace of mind to think straight sometimes, right? So that's what I said. Just take some time off, take some time to think yourself, discuss it with your master, and then go for a new plan. Right. Because sometimes you set up a plan, you set up goals, it's not working. There's no point going back on the same plan, same route. Right. You have to change gears, change the route, right? When you're stuck in traffic, if you have options, if you see options, detours, why would you want to be in the same route?
Right. Not to be adamant being there, but just try to invent something new.
New. And if you see these options, other options, why not?
Right.
Take some time, think through, talk to your master, and then go for a new plan. Just like when you're stuck in traffic.
Right.
If you see the options, there's no point being stuck on the road.
But never give up, right? Don't give up. It's something like
don't give up easily.
Right.
Don't give up easily.
Right.
So that's the thing. Like if you want to do something, if you want to get better at something, there's no silver bullet for success, right? You have to be consistent.
It's something like your analogy, right? Going in the car, you're driving, you're stuck in traffic. You don't get out and walk to the destination. You still be there in the car. You just maybe you take another route, but you don't get out of the car and go somewhere else. So you don't give up. That's that makes sense. So let's move on to the next question. It's kind of I think you already answered these, because how do I stay committed in
Oh.
like it's you answered almost most of it, but like how do
Yeah.
I stay committed, like you did have a goal like black belt this year,
Right.
all those goals, so it seems like that's how you be
Yes.
committed to that.
Absolutely. So you set up goals, right? So when I started martial arts, my goal was to get out of the house,
Right.
get some peace of mind. So that was my goal. So
Right.
that kind of forced me to go there because I loved it. I loved going there. And then I set up goals like, okay, I'm gonna get my first belt in the next 2 months. So that was my goal after that. And then when I went through a few belt levels, my goal was to get the black belt. So you set up certain goals at regular intervals. So that motivated me.
It's like a baby
Right.
goals, baby, you have a baby
Yeah.
step goals, like
Absolutely.
one by one, right?
One by one. So we are like we are grown up, so we can set up goals easily for ourselves,
Right.
unless like you're a kid, right? You're a 3-year-old. So
Yeah.
we can make our own decisions. We can make our own plans, make our own goals. So why not?
Right.
If you're goal oriented, if you set up some goals, if you are goal driven, that's gonna work, right? You set up goals. You want to get out of the house. That's your goal, and you keep going like twice a week. There was some days when I just went to the studio and just watched how kids do it,
Right,
do the
right.
sparring, because that helped me get my peace of mind. That was my goal, right? I don't have to go there and physically work out.
Right.
As long as even if you just go there and watch, if that gives you peace of mind, so you're achieving that goal. So you don't necessarily have to go there and sweat like crazy every day. You just have to go there and just watch,
Right.
as long as it gives you whatever your goal, whatever the benefit that you're trying to make out of.
Right.
So I think setting up goals is if you're goal oriented, that's gonna work. Like if you're looking for something, if you're looking to achieve the black belt, if you want to get the black belt, I set up, okay, black belt in 2018, 2019, or 2020, and I have a plan how to get there. I have to learn some fancy kicks and jumping and swinging and all sorts of fancy stuff. For me to do that, I have to make sure my weight is down. I'm not overweight. So I worked on my diet as well. So see how you get the other side, like how you get nutrition. So you learn how to have a healthy diet at the same
Right.
time.
Right.
So that's another benefit by setting up that kind of a goal. So yeah.
That's a two birds in one stone. That's a
Oh,
great thing.
boy, yeah, definitely killing more than two birds with one stone. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So in that same note, like everybody will have different issues going on in their life, right?
Right.
So I think looks like this martial arts might help to solve any kind of problems, like mind related problem or body related, like a soul related problems. Like I think
Yeah.
it's kind of a win-win for everybody
is.
almost.
It is.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to. This is kind of for the kids, right? This question is for the kids, like 10-year. Let's say 10-year-old kid, like, what kind of 10-year-old kid is listening to this YouTube video, right? What kind of advice do you would give to that kid? And if the kid is a boy or a girl, or like is it going to be different, or like could you talk about something on that?
Absolutely. They're kids, first off, right? 10-year-old, what do they know about world, right? They don't have to deal with meetings, stressful meetings. They don't have to deal with applying for paid time off from her boss, right? So their mind is comparatively, I would say, free. I would say just go and have some fun. For a 10-year-old, even 3-year-old, just go and have some fun. They don't have to worry about for a 10-year-old, they don't have to worry about necessarily about their sugar level, right? About their cholesterol level. They might
Right.
have to. I
Right.
mean, some point of their lives, and some of them, if they're really, really, really health focused, yes. I mean, but they don't usually have, unless they're getting it from parents or whatever, genetically or whatever. They don't have to worry about any of that. I would say if you're a 3-year-old up to 15 or even 18, I guess, just go and have some fun. You're not like old people like us. We have a lot of other issues to deal
Right.
with in our lives, right? So our goals are different. If you're a 10-year-old, just go and have some fun. As long as your parents have the financial supporting, like if you have the financial backup from your parents, just go and have some fun. But at the same time, set up some goals. Because if you can learn how to be a leader, how to lead, how to be an example to the society, I think you can learn it by doing martial arts. 6, 7, 8. I had when I went to martial arts to learn martial arts from Master Harris. Master Harris had about, I mean, so many instructors, young instructors. I'm talking about instructors, not
Wow.
students.
Right.
At the age of like 7, no, yeah, 6, 7 and up. Can you believe that how he trains young kids, 6,
Wow.
7? They are leading us sometimes.
Right.
They're teaching us. So imagine when they get to our age, what kind of, I mean, the kind of leadership skills that they're going to have when they hit 35, 40. They don't have to be 35, 40. Even if when they hit like 20 or the first job that they go, they have developed those leadership skills up to a greater extent. So, I mean, just learn, I mean, just set up some goals. The masters will teach you those skills in those classes. But more than anything, for a 10-year-old, I would say just go and have some fun.
Right. Yeah, that's a great. Especially it'll be good for women and girls, right, to feel safer when they like. I know there's a lot of things going on in the world, and this might give them boost. Like if like
Absolutely.
some parents have two like all girls, they might feel safer if sending them out, and then they know that exactly they can defend themselves on any kind of situations.
Blanket, yes, definitely, I agree, and not just that. I worked at martial arts university Charlotte under Master Harris. I learned martial arts under him, and he trained me to be a trainer, a junior trainer. And during my stay with martial arts university, I heard a lot of stories like that. I heard a lot of stories from parents that their children are being bullied,
Wow.
and that's why they brought their children to the martial arts studio.
Right. Right.
So I mean, I have seen in my own eyes, Venkat. I have seen my own eyes how they developed because of their martial arts training.
Wow.
Somebody who's very, very reserved, very, very angry sometimes. There are some kids, they're so overly active, and which is a problem for the parents. And some of them are so timid, and they're so scared because they're being bullied in school, right?
Right.
And I've seen how they grew up to become a great personality. So I mean, because I saw that in my own eyes, I'm very happy that I have been a part of their growth. At that time I was not even a father, and now I feel it more than that. I really wish if I had continued, but some things happened, so I had to move out of it because I had to move state where I lived.
Right.
Otherwise, I would have still continued doing that. But I mean, it's not just it's great for girls and anybody who wants to do it. I had adults who were like around their 50s, and I have seen people who are even 70s taking martial arts classes.
Wow.
So I mean, one person, one gentleman who was not at our school, but I saw it on YouTube. He was some 90, and he was
Wow.
testing for his black belt.
That's
So there is no age limit for that.
right. Yeah.
Again, his goals were, I mean, he goals at the age of 90. You and I think that okay, maybe just relax, reading a newspaper, watching their grandchildren or something. No, his goals were different, or maybe plus whatever looking after grandchildren or whatever. Plus, he wanted to get his black belt. That's fantastic.
Right.
That's kind of unheard. 90-year-old getting his black belt, not unheard, but kind of not common thing to hear.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I have seen the growth of young children coming out of their shells, and because of martial arts. So it'll help a 3-year-old, it will help 90-year-olds. So there's no age limit.
So it looks like the Taekwondo is the martial arts. Would you recommend that for the beginners?
Yes. So parents usually prefer. I have talked to some of the parents. Parents have talked to me sometimes. The parents who knew that I have done martial arts, they talk to me, and their mindset is, for some reason, their mindset is set up in a way that they've already kind of decided that they're going to put their children into Taekwondo. I don't know. Maybe Taekwondo is famous. I don't know. I mean, karate is also equally famous. I don't know. For some reason, parents tend to choose Taekwondo for their children, and I don't know why, but I don't argue. I mean, it's great.
Right.
I've done it. I've seen 3-year-olds taking Taekwondo and shape up their childhood. So why not? I mean, usually the trend is Taekwondo, but nothing against other martial arts styles. I would say anything.
Right.
Again, it depends on your goal.
Right.
But if you're a 3-year-old, you cannot really figure out what your goals are. If you're a parent looking for something for your 3-year-old, this is totally my personal viewpoint. I think Taekwondo is great.
Right.
Taekwondo is great because I've seen it in my own eyes. But I'm pretty sure all the other martial arts, they do the same thing, or they teach same skills, and especially it's not just kicking and punching. It's a lot more than kicking and punching. You learn how to shape up your life. So that part, I'm pretty sure any martial arts style will teach you that. But like I said, through my experience, Taekwondo is parents' number one choice. So.
Right. Yeah. Actually, I did see. I've been to a Taekwondo school. Right. I did see a lot of kids, flocking there, and they're just doing their own stuff. Actually, some of the kids just playing around there, and in the beginning at least, right? So So I would say, like, this is for the viewers, right? This is for all the viewers viewing this YouTube channel. Just like, if you're not sure about it, like we talked about before, you just take them to the, take them to the nearby Taekwondo school, right? Just see, you don't need to actually join there. Just see what they're doing right there. Like you told before that you just stay there and watch the others perform, right? What they're doing. That gives you more inspiration, and it moves you further down and probably helps you out in the future, right?
And one thing I would like to add to it, Venkat, you mentioned about kids running around and all that. I asked my master one day, Master Harris, they're kind of running around, and what he said, what else they're supposed to do? Right? He's a 3-year-old Mr. De Silva. Right? What else they're supposed to do? They're just here to have fun. But at the same time, we teach them at the right time. So I'll give you an example. When you go to a martial arts studio, a 3-year-old class full of 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds, you have some stripes, some stickers on the floor, like, so those stickers, those little children or the students have to stand on that little stripe on the floor. And when the class begins, everyone has to line up and go and take their own stripe. So you have to stand on that stripe. The kids who are running around, believe it or not, when the class starts, they walk behind everyone, or they run behind everyone, and they stand on the stripe that belongs to them. Imagine a 3-year-old doing that. That's a huge thing.
Wow.
And I learned that from my master. Like, I was like, he told me, imagine a 3-year-old doing that. But will they do that at home? When you ask them to do something or ask them not to do something, will they listen? No, but they do this in the school, and what we teach is that's obeying, that's obedience, and we teach them that in school, and we want them to apply at home. So when they walk into the class, they have to bow and say, "Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am." That's respect. That's
Right.
another thing kids will learn by going to martial arts studio, and they will learn how to call adults Mr., Mrs., or sir, ma'am. All that they're gonna learn there. But at the same time, they're having fun. You cannot expect a 3-year-old to be on a strike for maybe not more than 30 seconds. You gotta expect that. But at the same time, you have to appreciate the little things. If
Right.
he can
Right.
stand or if she can stand on that strike for a few seconds, that he's never gonna do or she's never gonna do at home, that's progress. That's progress, and we should give credit to those little guys.
Right. Right.
So you will see when you go to studio, kids running around. That's they're supposed to do because they don't have big goals in life. All they want is to have that kid get their first belt. And there was one kid I remember, their mom sent Master Harris the picture of him holding his yellow belt and fell asleep on the couch.
Wow.
Because for him, for a 3-year-old, that was his goal. He wanted to have his first belt,
Wow.
right? And he was there to have some fun, and at the same time, he learned all those good traits. I remember how he started. He was one of those children who were running around, but I saw his progress. He learned how to stand on his stripe longer than the last time. Every time I saw him. And finally, they had to move to California so he could continue with martial arts. But his mom sent us a picture, him holding on to his first belt and falling asleep on the couch.
Wow. That's
But the thing is consistency, Venkat.
right. Right.
You have to be consistent, and if you just stop it at halfway through, when you see the progress, but you stop it, you're gonna lose it. So give it a shot, be consistent, and have some fun.
Right. Yeah. This is, I think, great. Great discussion that we are having, because this is going to help a lot of people, right? Like who are viewing this,
Yeah.
and they might want to lose weight, but they don't know what to do about it,
Right.
and they tried so many things, and then they at the same time they want to have a discipline. They want to go out there, and instead of joining gyms, probably the martial art could be a better option, right? Because you are doing something physical, mental, and also spiritual. You're shaping up all those three things. Those are the foundation of your life, right? Basically.
Absolutely.
And
Wow.
if those
Yeah.
things are stronger, you could do anything in your life. That's I think based on what you told me, based on what I learned, it looks like everybody will benefit out of this. Like it could be like losing weight, or creating more disciplines to the kids, or teaching more newer skills to the kids, or physical activity, or being mentally alert, or it could be the defensive mechanism for all the kids if they're getting bullied in the school, or if it could be a safety thing for the girls or women. So it's just so widespread. I think it's going to. It seems like it's going to help out everybody shape up their life, and these advices are, I think, really great, and I think they can move forward with whatever we talked about in this living life coaches lesson. So our motto is like, if not now, when, right? If you're not trying to do something about it in your life, it's just one time life. If you're not doing something today, when you're going to do it, right? That's our motto.
So the thing is, like, I've seen this before. If you're trying to figure out the best time to do something, it's now.
Right.
If you think too much, you're never going to do it.
Right.
And if you're trying to figure out the best time to do something, it's now. So like you said, that's our motto. Like, if not now, when? And because I've seen people, even I've done it before. Like, I was thinking too much, before making a definite decision, and I was never able to do it. because I was thinking too much, and then I realized I've seen it before. People have said this, there's this quote, what's the best time to do something? It's now.
Right.
If you want to do something, the best time to do it is now.
Just do it.
Keep pushing it. You keep pushing it, and it's never going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
It's like something like tomorrow never comes. If you push it for tomorrow, it's going to never come. So why not now? Just do it now.
Yeah. So I think I definitely think that today I think everybody will get benefit from this video, and thank you all for watching. And we are Randy and Venkat team, and Living Life Coaches. And our motto is like, if not now, when?
Yeah.
So if you guys have any questions, just comment below.
Feel free to ask either Venkat or myself. And again, these are just our personal points. We just wanted to share what we learned. If any decision you make, there are pros and cons. So it's all about giving it a shot, trial and run.